Factory 5 Roadster 6882. I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to get worn down, a little tired. Been heavy at it for 5 months now, and got 2 more weeks until the Hot Rod Power Tour. Trying to stay strong. So we're doing body work over at a friend's garage he's allowing me to use. We're going to put some epoxy sealer on there, and we've got new tires. Back here are the new tires. In the front here are the old tires, but we've got tires to put on, and we're doing body work right now. What we're doing is the slick sand. This slick sand had been on here for almost a year, a little bit more than a year now, 15 months, and the rear here had never been sanded since I sprayed it on 15 months ago. The front had been sanded when I initially put it on, and I sanded it with 220, and so I'm going to go back over it. I've washed everything with some grease removal, whatever it's called, wax and grease remover, that guy right there, because there's been handprints, there's been, you know, little grease here and there lifting the body on and off. So I wanted to try to get it a good bath, and then I'll go over it with 220 just to kind of sand off whatever may still be there. Some of the heavy stuff back here I was doing with 80 grit, and I've learned that that is not the way to do it. The reason I was doing it, not that it was right, but the reason I was doing it was the build was so high that I was trying to get it in plane, and you can tell when it's in plane, at least I think this is how you tell, because that's what I was doing. This is kind of a discolor. I don't know if you can tell the difference here, but this is going to be lighter. This right here is darker, than this is lighter as well. So this dark area is where it's low spot. So what I was trying to do is sand until all of this is the light color, and this dark color is no longer there, telling me that it's all in the same level. You can feel the difference right here too. So the reason I switched to 80 grit, which again is not the way to do it, is because when I was doing 220 on the hood, the doors, it was taking forever. And maybe that's just the way it is, but I would spend an hour on one door, and I thought, and that was just the outside, and I thought this must not be right, because it's not taking off a lot. That's all just with going 220. I never put 80 on those. And then I got to the trunk, and the trunk was larger, and the outside of the trunk took me maybe an hour and a half to get everything in plane. So I tried this, and then there was going to be the hood. So I decided the hood I'm going to hit it with 80 grit, and then I'll come back with 220. I think what I understand that you want to do is hit it with 220 and then even 400 afterwards before doing an epoxy sealer. But it's been done, so we're moving on, and this is what the 80 got down to, and this is once everything was in plane with one another. Now, I was the one that sprayed the slick sand on here, and it was the first time I've ever sprayed a car, so it was heavy around here, some places, thin in others. It was just an oddball. So I've tried to sand it all down to where it's all, you know, I really don't know what the term is. I'm going to call it in plane with one another, and that's what I've done. So the 80 grit's going to be covered or gone back over with 220. You can still feel some of the ridges that were in here. It's not bad. I mean, it's got some good curves to it. Where you can really see it, or I can really see it, is back here at the lights. Some of this molding here, I want to be able to get it just sort of smoothed in, rounded in there real nice. That'll take a little bit of time. This is still 80 grit. You may be able to see the scratches in there. That's the difference right there, as opposed to the 220, course, maybe we'll see scratches now, but there's a 220. I mean, that'll be knocked down. We can go back over it. We're going to put some epoxy sealer on there. I decided to go with Valspar because the shop is local, right down the street. There's vendors here and there that know their stuff, and so these are the ones that I went with. And what I want to do is just seal the car up for a while, maybe a year or two, so that I can run it, and grease can get on it, oil, gasoline, whatever, and I don't have to worry about it. So according to the shop, these are all, this is 4 part to 1 part to 1 part, and then you can't tell here, but I picked sort of a light gray, so that I, 1, have a lighter color car, and 2, what Batman says is to you'd be able to see the pinholes a little better too. So I like that. I'm gonna actually, I like this primer color. I even like the marbling, honest with you, but I like the old school sort of a beat up look to it instead of something super nice that I'm going to damage. So that's kind of where we're at right now. It's raining outside, so I was hoping to be able to get this sanded and done, maybe sprayed tomorrow. Tomorrow's not looking much better. We just got drenched, really. So I just kind of came in and did some light sanding, and got some other stuff to do at home. Here's, I guess I need to get in there and wash that out. All that dark. I mean, let's be real. It's just trying to get work done. I'm not really good at keeping things pretty while getting work done. I don't know how some of you guys do it out there, but this is more just let's do it. Let's learn from it and keep going. So the power tour is in 2 weeks. I should be leaving here in 2 weeks to go on it. So what I'm hoping is to be able to get this sprayed maybe this weekend, and then I'll be able to start reassembly. I still have some little bit of work to do on the car, and then I got to run it. I'd like to be able to run it for a week to make sure there's no real problems before heading off on the tour. But that's kind of where we're at. This is my 220 roll. Down here is my 80 roll. It's my ventilator, which was, or my PPE, which was nice, because I wear this stuff too pretty well. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. Bye.